Hello, welcome to Dawn of Titans. I'm your host, DBR, and today we'll be looking at Durat.
That's right, guys, the Titan of Flame that you've seen roaming around in my videos. Well, it's finally time to put him on special and take a closer look at this awesome Titan. It's been well requested, so it's high time I jump in and show you guys my Durat. Everyone's been asking about his skills, what he can do, how I use them. So let's jump in and take a look and see, first off, what his skill set is that was randomly created through the luck of the draw, right? So there he is. There's Durat in all his glory. You guys have seen this probably before in some of my previous videos. Very nice design on Durat, first of all. Loving it. I love how they tinge that fire with that nice gold, bronze kind of armor he's got on. But let's take a look here, because his skill set that's opened up so far, I haven't opened up his fourth one. I've thrown a couple 3 stars at him, and it has not succeeded in unlocking his last skill. I actually hear one of the mentalities is to level up your skills to its max before you try to open up the last one. And people say there's no hard proof that you need to do that, but they think it's a good idea. Maybe it is. As you can see here, though, I've got Cuirass as his first ability, his first skill to unlock, and it is maxed out at level 10 there, 30% Titan armor. And so what that skill is it actually reduces damage by 30%, from what I understand. And also from what I understand, there is no such thing as 100% damage reduction. I think it maxes around 90%. At this point, if I had, let's say, fire resistance on him, okay? If I had 40% fire resistance and 30% Titan armor, that's gonna be 70% damage reduction on any fire attacks. Let's say I had 70% fire resistance and with this 30% Cuirass at the top, that would result in apparently 90% damage reduction. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what I understand. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really spew those numbers out at you. That's something we have to figure out as we go along. All right, now the second skill is True Strike. Now, True Strike is also maxed out right now at level 10, and that also stopped at 30% effect. And I believe that is an addition type thing. I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate, but I believe it's if you have 30% armor and he has True Strike at 30%, I believe he nullifies that. But in any case, he is going to damage you more if you have armor because he's got that awesome True Strike. Honestly, he's kind of a Titan killer at this point with his armor and with armor piercing. His third ability that unlocked is Granite Ward 2. 48%, if memory serves me correct, that's actually only level 4. This is going to max out, if memory serves correctly, at a whopping 72%. 72% resist against Earth. So he's going to have armor of 30% with a 72% resist against Earth, which I believe equates to the 90% max, because it'd be over 100%, max armor against Goliaths and Earth-based Titans. So anything Earth-wise on this guy, he's going to be impervious. Now that's exciting, especially if his last ability is another type of armor piercing or damage increasing ability, and I'm hoping it is. All right, now let's jump down and look at his items, because this is pretty exciting combined with his skills. There's a couple things you can do with him at this point. You can amp up his health, and you can amp up his armor even more if you wanted to with different relics that are out there, like the Boar Helm or something like that. But I decided to go full offense on his relics. So the first relic I have is a Fire Mane, right? And as you can see, it's not maxed out yet. We're about halfway there. But the first one is maxed at Titan fire damage. It's going to stop at 26%. So he's got a 26% boost to his damage, which is awesome. Grenadiers is going to max out also at 26%. So the Grenadiers are going to have an increase in fire damage, making him an amazing attack Titan, right? Especially if there's 0 fire defense. And then the last one is going to be one of two things. Either a maxed 8% Grenadier armor piercing or 8% Grenadier critical, all right? So armor piercing or critical, both of which are fantastic. And then you jump on over and you see I've got my second Fire Mane attached, which I just started using, and we're going to have a duplicate of that. So 26% on 2 different items, both for Titan fire damage and for Grenadier damage. This is just an amazing fire attack Titan in combination. And last of all, as you can see there, we've got a Flame Arc. And what's awesome about the Flame Arc is this is an item straight from Lords of Flame, making it extra special. And here's the cool part. Right now, it's only at 24% Titan fire damage. But can you guess where this guy's going to max at? 28% Titan fire damage, 24% Grenadier fire damage, and 12% Grenadier critical. Meaning criticals, armor piercings, for the Grenadiers, along with damage boosts and damage boosts for my Titan itself, Durat. So really, if this guy fully maxed out when he gets to level 40, along with fully maxed relics here, even though they're all 3 stars, he's going to be a beast to deal with. I'd actually be kind of curious how he does on defense, since I don't think he'd do as well as you can just go all Grenadier, but I think it would surprise someone attacking unless they really looked. Where a bunch of Grenadiers spawn in the back, they're not too worried about it, and all of a sudden they like one-hit everything because they're chucking out like 75% damage boosts with criticals out the wazoo. But anyways, that's how I currently have him set up. And right now, even though those items aren't really maxed yet, he does quite well. At level 37, he's got quite a bit of health. He takes a lot to take down in these battles, and of course, you know, you got spells on your side when you're attacking. So let's go out there and show you how he works. He really does help boost Grenadier's abilities with those relics, and as you guys know, those relics are basically worthless in any other Titan that doesn't use fire as an attack because the first ability is completely wasted. All right, zoom, 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 sniff, 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 looking around for some prey. These look pretty beefy, so let's take a look. Yeah, pretty big. Pretty big to attack. Let's see if we can find something beefy. 62 is better. 94, sure, why not? So let's take this on. 94,000 defense. That's actually pretty high. I don't really make a habit of frequenting that, but I think a lot of that's coming from his Toric because it's level 30. And honestly, he is not going to hold a candle to Durat because Durat is far more powerful than he is. But because this is so much, I'm going to take 2 Goliaths instead of my normal Spearmen. And I'm going to take a freeze and a shield and a cheeseburger. Let's take a rage, why not? And here we go. Now with Durat so beefy leveled up, when I throw in Goliaths, it's 62,000 total attack. So it's not too big of a deficit, 30,000. But we'll see what happens, what map they give us. Oh, they made it easy on us. They made it easy on us. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to back this off. I'm going to throw this guy over here and this guy over here because I've been finding on this map randomly these the Grenadiers are getting a shot off. Like sometimes they'll fire and sometimes they won't. It's almost like sometimes they'll decide to flank and sometimes they won't. So I'm just going to do that. And then he's going to go straight ahead. And yeah, let's take out. This is going to be interesting because he's got 3 Goliaths right up top. So we're just going to deal with the Grenadiers right off the bat, and then I'm gonna rage him, or maybe not. The Toric fell faster than I thought he would. Holy Moses! And why is this guy going rogue? You're extra, buddy. Come on back. In fact, you can just stay there. Well, it looks like Durat's gonna be fine up there, so we're just gonna leave him for a second, and we're gonna take care of this guy back here. Now, what I love about him being this high level, even before he was in this 30s, he was doing great. But when he's this high level, I literally can just send him straight towards the portal spot for the enemy, and he takes care of business. It doesn't matter what they throw at him. They can throw almost anything at him, and he's just going to take care of business. All right, and then now it's all about just waste. I don't like to waste my time, so I kind of split up everything here. Come on, guys, just go take something. There's nothing left but ranged units. I thought it'd be a challenge, guys. But there you go. With Durat on my side, I don't need to use spells and I don't need to use reinforcements. It's just all hack and shot. Now, I will say this, though. They almost took him out. They got close, but that was almost an auto attack and go to sleep attack, right? It's fantastic. I can't wait till I get those relics maxed out. Could you imagine? All right, what else you got? You got something more unique here. Let's see what else you got in defensive units here, because these are all nice big lands. 84,000 looks pretty good. Oh, here we go. A food land at 99,000 defense. That's a nice smorgasbord. I'm surprised there's not as many Goliaths. He's got this die mesh, though. Maybe he's got some good relics on board. Maybe, maybe not. Let's make it easier on him this time. See if you can beat me. I'm going to put 2 Spearmen in. We're going to take my classic shield, freeze, and rage in case I do get in a tight spot. Let's bring those reinforcement Goliaths. Let's try this one out, guys. It's going to be the same formula, though. You know, the nice thing about him is you don't have to get too creative. Wow, really? Straightforward attack. All right, auto orders. I'm going to hold back the Spearmen as I like to do. I usually let the first shot go right off into the pikemen because they do tend to damage a lot on the Titan, and then take the flanking grenadiers. I said it right. Take the flanking grenadiers and just pull them on to the 2 ranged units that never quite pull into the center. And then it's all about, let's just get rid of this guy as quickly as possible. Boom! Oh, he almost one-hit him. He almost one-hit him, not quite. Darn it. Now, those grenadiers in the back are going to be a bit of a problem. So we're just going to take our ranged units here and say, go, go, go. Go, go, go. He actually might need a shield on this one. I am impressed. Well done, guys. Well done. Now, if I threw... Maybe he did need the shield. Now, if I threw the rage on him, he would make quick business out of everything. Which is what the beauty of that spell is. Basically, you throw a rage on that guy, he'll eat up anything that comes at him, including Titans. Doesn't matter how big it is. I suppose the only thing that really could stop him at this point is 90% fire defense. Now, I will say this. We should probably do this a little justice by just taking a quick look before I close out on the relics that would actually cause him problems. Because really out there now, there's quite a bit of fire defense people can play with. They can really stack these 4- and 3-star items that came out of the Flame Soul event. All right, now the Fire Ruby. The Fire Ruby, what's interesting about it is it's Titan resistance against fire, Titan resistance against melee, and I believe then it's Titan armor. And so it's really quite effective at reducing Durat's damage because it's already going to stack armor with the fire resistance. You throw in another fire resistant item, right? We got a bunch here, like a fire ring. You know, even a fire ring is going to throw in max, when it's maxed out, 22% Titan fire resistance, and then it's going to be 22% Goliath fire resistance as well. That can be in there. So that's going to be costly, and this is when you see these items stacked on, you basically decide Durat's maybe not the one to use on this particular attack. And finally, I also believe almost everyone probably has a fire cloak by now, and hopefully you haven't sacked that or turned it into fodder for the rest of your relics, because it's a pretty awesome item. It's going to open up Titan resistance against fire. I believe that maxes at 24%. And then 12%, I think it was 12% Titan resistance against ranged, which is so fascinating to me that there's a resistance against range. So that means it's going to be effective against archers and grenadiers, which is terrible for Durat and his item combination, because that's all he is he's grenadiers and his fire ability. And then even if you brought some archers just in case, oh, woe is you. And then the last one is a Titan boost to health, I think something like 18% or 20%. No, 18%. They got a fire cloak on, they got a ring on, maybe they got the ruby on, and they're making you think, probably not Durat. But you know, the nice thing is, because of Durat's abilities that I have on this specific one, he could still probably do it with a couple spells most likely, but it just would take him a lot longer, and he'd have to defend off the rest of the distance or ranged attacks that are hitting him as he takes care of the front line. But there you guys go. That's my Durat. That's his skill set. I can't wait to see what the fourth one is. But you know, as a free-to-play player, that's a diehard in that respect, I just, it takes time to get the 3 stars to melt into him for that last skill. And unfortunately, it doesn't show me percentages, so I can never really know how close I am to getting it. But I tend to do it, you know, one at a time. So I will get it eventually, just not yet. All right, I hope that answered a lot of your questions about Durat and everything that you guys wanted to see about him. If you have anything specifically you want me to show about him, or if you have any specific questions, feel free to comment below. Love it, guys. Keep in mind, I'm always open to your interpretation of things. I think it's fantastic that you guys have all your own ways of playing. That's the whole point of these strategy games. We all have our different strategies, right? And at the same time, keep in mind that I'm a discusser, a debater. I love it. I live for debates. It's fantastic stuff to me, especially when it comes to things like games, because at the end of the day, we're all just having fun. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you get a Durat of your own, or maybe even the 4-star Flame Titans. And I'll see you next time on Drive by Rubbies.